Mobile device forensics investigation. When trying to understand the process of mobile device forensics, some important questions to consider are: what kind of devices are you working with? What information can be stored on devices? And what authorization is needed to collect data? When trying to understand the process, when it comes to mobile devices, a plethora of information is stored on them, from social media account information to photos, videos, and music files, web pages, as well as call logs, bank account logins, calendars, and even what access to your home. Being that there is so much information stored in them, you want to make sure that you have proper clearance to acquire and analyze the data. That is why before doing anything, you need to make sure that you have acquired either a search warrant or a subpoena, which in this particular investigation, that was already acquired. Another important factor is to figure out what kind of device you are working with. The dilemma investigators face is that no single standard exists for how and where phones store messages. Also, there are different OSs depending on the carrier and model of the phone. New phones come out about every 6 months, and they are rarely compatible with previous models. So knowing what kind of device you're working with will help you determine the equipment and tools you will need as well. When starting the investigation, I will make sure to follow the mobile forensic processes, which are access, acquisition, and analysis. What I would do first, in order to not lose any volatile evidence, is to keep the device safe and fully powered in order to retrieve RAM data. If devices are connected to anything else, it is important to disconnect them, and this will prevent the synchronization with cloud services that can overwrite data. I would also make sure to keep the devices isolated to avoid incoming signals that can potentially lead to a remote wiping of the device. This can be done by placing the device on airplane mode, in a paint can, using a Faraday bag, or turning the device off. So determining the best acquisition methods, again, depends on the type of device. And something else that needs to be considered is what to do when the phone is on, off, locked, or unlocked. Well, the SANS DFIR Forensics recommends, if the device is on and unlocked, to isolate it from the network, disable the screen lock, and remove the passcode. Now, if the device is on and locked, what you can do varies again depending on the type of device. If the device is off, attempt a physical static acquisition and then turn the device on. In the lab, I would check the following areas of the device. So the internal memory, the SIM card, the removal or external memory cards, and network providers. And the network provider, that one can be a difficult one, again, because of privacy laws. So a warrant or subpoena is necessary. Another complication from this is that backups of the device may be stored in a cloud provided by the carrier or third party, making it increasingly difficult to acquire data. And then, so regardless, some tools that can be used are SIM card readers, Access Data, FTK Imager, and MacLock PIC 3.0. SIM card readers, while useful, may not be forensically sound in retrieving information and can alter messages. With Access Data, you can perform a logical acquisition and a low-level analysis, allowing for the retrieval of deleted text messages and similar data. MacLock is similar to Access Data, but is used specifically for iPhone acquisitions. And now the NIST guidelines list 6 different types of mobile forensic methods of acquisition. And those are manual extraction, logical extraction, physical extraction, hex dumping, and joint test action group extraction, chip off, and microread. And then lastly, once all the data has been compiled, it of course has to be analyzed. And for this process, as examiners and investigators, we have to develop or follow different types of processes because the field is ever growing and changing, and there are no set in stone procedures to follow. So of course, something else is if there's no data to be analyzed, or you come up with nothing at all, you just want to go ahead and use different tools to see if you can gain similar or different results. And then again, so how is this different than a regular hard drive case? Well, a hard drive has non-volatile memory and it does not require any power to maintain the information. In this case, you are dealing with both volatile and non-volatile memory. With mobile devices, there is data that can be lost if the device is powered off. It is also harder to recover data in this case because there is a much larger quantity of data available because cloud storage and can become more difficult to acquire. So overall, technology is ever evolving and making an investigator's task of collecting evidence that much more harrowing. So we just have to make sure to keep up to date with new tools, procedures, and anything else that can be of use as an investigator.